Evolution, in its simplest form, is change over time. It's a process that has been happening since the dawn of life on Earth. More specifically, it's about how life forms change across generations. These changes can be small, like a slight variation in color, or large, like the development of new species. This change is usually very gradual, happening over many years. It's a process that requires patience to observe and understand. It's like a slow, steady dance rather than a sudden leap. Each step in this dance is a small change that builds upon the previous ones. The significance of evolution is profound. It's not just a scientific concept, it's a way to understand the history of life. It's the unifying theory of biology, explaining the incredible diversity of life on Earth. From the tiniest microorganisms to the largest mammals, evolution connects them all. From the smallest bacteria to the largest whales, all living things share a common ancestor. This common ancestry is a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. Evolution helps us understand how life arose from non-living matter and diversified into the myriad forms we see today. It's a story of adaptation and survival. It provides a framework for understanding relationships between different species. By studying these relationships, we can learn more about our own place in the natural world. Evolution is not just about the past. It's an ongoing process, shaping the living world around us even now. Every day, species are adapting to new challenges and environments, continuing the dance of life. Natural selection is a key mechanism driving evolution, shaping the diversity of life we see around us. It's a process where organisms with traits better suited to their environment are more likely to survive and reproduce, ensuring that these advantageous traits are passed on to future generations. This leads to these advantageous traits becoming more common over time, gradually transforming the species to better fit their surroundings. Imagine a population of beetles with variations in color, some green, some brown. These color variations can significantly impact their survival. If the environment changes, favoring brown beetles, maybe due to a change in the background color making them less visible to predators, they'll survive better. This camouflage gives them a crucial advantage. The brown beetles reproduce more, passing on their genes to the next generation. Over time, these genes become more prevalent in the population. Over generations, the population shifts towards a higher proportion of brown beetles, demonstrating the power of natural selection in action. This illustrates how natural selection acts on variations, shaping species to better adapt to their environments and survive. There are different types of natural selection, each influencing species in unique ways. Directional selection favors one extreme trait, like the brown beetles in our example, pushing the population towards that trait. Stabilizing selection favors average traits, reducing variation and maintaining the status quo within a population, while disruptive selection favors both extremes, potentially leading to the formation of new species over time. For evolution to occur, there must be variation within a population. This variation is essential because it provides the different traits that can be selected for or against in the process of natural selection. This variation stems from differences in the genetic makeup of individuals, their DNA. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the molecule that carries the genetic instructions for life. This genetic variation is the raw material upon which natural selection acts. Without genetic variation, populations would not be able to evolve and adapt to their environments. There are several sources of genetic variation. These sources ensure that populations have a wide range of traits to draw from. Mutations, or changes in DNA sequence, are a primary source. Mutations can introduce new genetic information into a population. These mutations can be spontaneous or induced by environmental factors. Environmental factors such as radiation, chemicals, and even certain biological processes can cause mutations. Another source is genetic recombination, the shuffling of genes during sexual reproduction. This process occurs during meiosis, where chromosomes exchange genetic material. This creates new combinations of genes in offspring, leading to further variation. Each offspring is a unique combination of its parents' genes. The movement of individuals between populations, known as gene flow, can also introduce new genes and increase genetic diversity. Gene flow occurs when individuals migrate and breed with members of a different population. This constant influx of variation is crucial for populations to adapt to changing environments. Without genetic variation, populations would struggle to survive in the face of environmental changes and challenges. Inheritance is the process by which traits are passed from parents to offspring. This transmission of traits is governed by genes, units of heredity located on chromosomes. Each gene exists in different forms called alleles, and these alleles determine specific traits. During sexual reproduction, offspring inherit one set of chromosomes from each parent, receiving a combination of alleles. This combination of alleles determines the offspring's genotype, their genetic makeup. The genotype, in turn, influences the phenotype, the observable characteristics of an organism. Not all traits are determined by a single gene. Many traits are polygenic, meaning they are influenced by multiple genes interacting with each other. This complex interplay between genes and the environment shapes the characteristics of an organism.